Phone security. Do you have it? With the growing number of concerns regarding phone security and tech scams, so much so that even the FBI has released a warning about phone scams, this is something that everyone should be taking seriously. And we here at My Computer Works, we take this very serious. And we want to provide you with some useful tips that will ensure you are doing everything that you can personally to make sure that not only your phone is safe, but also the messages that you send from your phone are safe as well. To give a quick overview of what we will be covering today, we're going to be going over things like browser safety on your phone, how to keep your text messages safe, and the importance of managing app permissions and privacy settings. Let's jump into it. All right, everybody. So first up on the list was mobile browsing. Let's talk about what is one of the safest, or if not the safest, choice for a browser that you can use from your mobile phone, okay? At this time, My Computer Works recognizes Brave as being the best browser choice for your mobile phone. Now, why is because it prioritizes your privacy really over anything else. It does this by automatically blocking ads that you would see in the browser and preventing tracking on the phone, okay? Now, it has a really strong focus on your privacy. It's going to make sure that, again, by default, it's just automatically set to block ads and to stop trackers, okay? This reduces the amount of your data that gets collected online while you're doing things in the browser or when you go to websites, okay? Because of this automatic ad blocking and tracker blocking, it's going to improve the speed of your browser, right? Some of the other browsers don't really prioritize that on your phone, and because of that, they can be slower and clunkier compared to Brave. On top of that, because it's blocking all of those elements that you don't need to see and those ads and those tracking, it's going to actually improve your battery life a little bit, right? Because if your phone's not having to load all of that, if the browser's not causing a bunch of resource consumption or power drain, it's going to make that battery life actually last longer, okay? It also has a really nice built-in customization for privacy control, and as I mentioned earlier, the ad blocking is already there. It uses a program called Shields, or what's called the Shields service, which actually blocks invasive elements on pages, blocks ads, blocks trackers, making it the number one, if not one of the best browsers. It is the best browser for your mobile phone. So if you haven't given Brave a try, and you're having trouble with your other mobile browsers, I strongly recommend you hop over to your app store, go ahead and download Brave browser, give it a try. All right, second on the list is that text message privacy, or keeping our text messages safe. Let's talk about ways we can do that, okay? Now, I don't recommend sending very sensitive data right off the bat. Just try to avoid sending sensitive data through text message. That could be really dangerous. Text messaging is not the most secure or encrypted method of sending messages. It's just not. You'd be much better off sending encrypted messages even through email, secure email format. The text messages that you send from your phone, not the safest, okay? So if you're sharing information, personal information via text message, or sending very sensitive data via text message, you're already putting yourself into kind of a danger zone, okay? But that danger zone can get even more dangerous or catastrophic to you if you're on a public network, okay? Public networks are usually the target for most hackers. They're going to be trying to fish for or look for sensitive information or sensitive communications that's being sent over the public networks out there, okay? So you never know. You don't want to walk into like a McDonald's and hop on their public Wi-Fi and then start sending super sensitive data or information via text message. I don't really recommend doing that even off of a public network, but if you're doing it on a public network, now you're really putting yourself into the danger zone, okay? And if you have done this, if you have sent sensitive data through text message, one of the best ways to basically kind of not really undo what you've done because it's already been done, but to prevent further harm through like data leaks, or let's say somebody gets into your phone, delete those messages, okay? If somebody were to get into your phone, like a bad actor, and they have all those text messages right there to just be able to hop over into your messages and find them, that's bad news bears, right? And on top of that, let's say there was like a data breach into the server that hosts that information, all of your sent text messages. If that information is not cleared on their end, they'll be able to steal that information from the server, right? So want to make sure that we're deleting messages that we send, especially if it's sensitive data. But ultimately, my recommendation would be trying not to, or not doing it at all. Just don't send sensitive information over text message, especially if you're on a public network, okay? All right, and the final one is going to be managing your app permissions on your phone, okay? So there's a lot of settings and app permissions that are given on your phone. I'm gonna show real quick here. I have an iPhone. I'm going to hop into my settings, and I'm going to scroll down to the privacy and security section. I have it up on screen here. And in here, there's a bunch of different control settings that I can use or follow to ensure that who has access to my data. They even have a section here that shows who's tracking you, right? I have location services, so I have 18 that are all set to, while I'm using the application, they have access to my location, right? For some of the applications, that's necessary, unfortunately, for me to be able to effectively use them. But usually when they ask me if I want to allow tracking all the time or only while using the app, I always choose while using the app. And then I might come back in here even and take that permission away from them. So anytime you download an application on your phone, they're going to want certain permissions. They might want access to, say, like your photos. They might want access, again, to location. They may want access to the information that you're looking at online or other permissions that you've given other apps. A lot of those things don't need to be on. So I strongly recommend, whether you're an iPhone user or an Android phone user, you hop into your settings and check to see what apps have permission over what. It might surprise you and scare you what you find in there, because a lot of times those apps have access to things, like I mentioned, that they don't really need access to. So stay vigilant, stay on top of your app permissions, hop into your settings from time to time. Check out the privacy and security section if you're on iPhone. For Android, it's slightly different. We can do a video on how to get to that if need be, or if you're having trouble with that, reach out to My Computer Works via the number at the beginning, into the video, or down in the description. We'd be happy to help you out with anything to do with your phone, whether it be text message security, if you want to download the Brave browser and give it a shot, set it as your default browser, or if you want some help with these app permissions, okay? And we also help out, obviously, with other technology, but you'll have to give us a call if you'd like to hear more. Again, number beginning down in the description. And while you're down there, please hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one.